Everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Builders Bench, where I talk to all these different projects in the Cardano ecosystem that are building some really interesting things. And in this episode, I'm talking to Tim Bruckmann from Finest, Begin Wallet, and BlockSign. And we're actually looking at a particular use case or particular use cases where blockchain is really needed. So they always say, don't start with technology first, start with the use case where blockchain can fit in quite well and optimize various processes. And this is definitely one of them that can bring in thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of users, even on a daily basis. I'm not kidding here. Listen up. This is really interesting. Let's get into the interview. So Tim, welcome back to the podcast.
Hi, Pete. Really nice to see you. I was just following always, your channel. I'm following also your boxing experience as I like martial arts. So I'm very happy to be with you. Thank you for the invitation.
Now, it's been a while since we caught up, and I know you have got your fingers in so many pieces of the puzzle, so many, what's the saying? Pieces of the pie at the moment. And I'd like to cover some of this stuff that you're playing around with. Like you're behind a part of Begin Wallet, Finest, and DocuFi, or now being rebranded as well to BlockSign. So I want to talk about all these things because they bring in user adoption on so many different levels. Where do we start here? Give me a little bit of background and history of what you've been up to.
Yes, the easiest, the puzzle is the better picture perhaps because I was building up the different pieces together with a really nice teams, really great people. And we started with coming to the blockchain as we thought the blockchain could solve an identity solution, as I have been selling mobile phone plans in Germany, Austria and Switzerland, so German-speaking countries, and we have a lot of fraud. We came up to have a company who is dealing with identities. And so we dived in the SSI, the self-sovereign identity space, and today we see that this space is really covered well. It's a very more like an academic way, because in Germany or in Europe, we see that there will be a movement called eIDAS, a government identity. And in a commercial way, no one, and we heard this from banks, with all our partners we're talking with, we don't accept SSI. We accept identities which are issued from the government, from the state. And that will be eIDAS. It's called eIDAS, the standard. And then you can develop wallets which have an eIDAS standard. And there will be hundreds, so we wait just till the standard is out, and then we reshape the way of IMX that SSI is dead in our mind. So for us, for our use, as we are strongly commercial, we need to have revenue, and SSI is something brilliant, something beautiful, but it takes a long time till there will be a change from the government side. And if you look at regulations and how to onboard people for KYB, KYC, usually the platforms tell you, we work with the big five. We don't like your solution. We don't like it's cheaper. We are very anxious with regulations. It's, regulations. No, we stick where we are. This is running now and we never change a running team. Also, if you're better, cheaper, we can't change. We are very anxious. So we see that there is something happening and we can't change that. But everything we developed, like the onboarding solution, we use it for another company where I'm the CEO and founder. It's called Finest Investments, where we tokenize real-world assets. And the onboarding solution and the KYC, if you buy gold, we sell gold since, I think, nearly a year. Tokenized gold, which is backed by physical gold. The gold is stored in Munich with a big gold dealer called Pro Aurum GmbH. GmbH is like the equity form of company. And there we use already what we developed with IMX. For the other platform, BlockSign, now DocuFi, but will be rebranded soon, bought already the name and everything. It's kind of, we need signatures to sell shares later on Finest. So we were saying, okay, we have identity, we can onboard, we can sell gold. How to tokenize shares, what we need. And we are limited in the beginning to institutional or professional investors. And Web2 needs signatures. So we need to have a signature, like easy to understand. You make a signature on a PDF. You and me, we are in one company, Pete, and we have our boss. Our boss is screaming, Pete, Tim, make the transaction now. I'm waiting the whole day already. And you have to sign a PDF because yes, you are and me, we have to do it together. It's always web big companies. It's the going way to work. Then you sign, me sign a PDF, but this digital PDF will trigger the transaction on Cardano. So we developed with BlockSign Web 2 tools for Web 3 use cases. It's like if you go to Fireblocks or this, I don't know if you know these projects. These are onboarding for institutional. It's like an institutional wallet. It is a platform where you work 100% compliant for institutional investors and professional investors. And this we develop. And now I already talked about the wallet. I'm also in the team of Begin Wallet, as I always needed a wallet where identity is placed in, where I can sell my gold off. So like a perfect front end, but not for you and me as degens, but more for people who like to use crypto on the way to the work, sitting, waiting for the bus. You can make your small swaps, you can buy gold. But I think if you read trade, you have your big screen in front of you or two, sometimes have 3 or 4 screens, then you really do your trading work. But I like to have a wallet where you can use everything. So from Begin Wallet, you can use Liquid directly, Liquid Finance. You can directly use Fluid. You can buy gold from Finest. So you see all these pieces are puzzles of a small ecosystem, which I can feed myself. And I'm not dependent on to ask another wallet, can you sell my gold? Perhaps say, no, I don't like, or commission is too high. But I invite all wallets to sell this gold from Finest because that will bring TVL to Cardano, as simple as this is. It's the more gold we sell, the more tokens with a value we have on Cardano. And for me, gold, I'm a little bit older. I'm 50 already. So gold was always something very important if you are investor, because you hedge always with gold. And if we see the gold price now, it is a mirror of what is happening in the world. War is something very bad. Nations who struggle have people dying of hunger is a problem. So we see a lot of problems in the world. So gold is rising, uncertainty. So I think gold is a better stable coin. So now you have a little bit of picture. It's Begin Wallet, Finest Tokenized, where we sell the gold. And then we have DocuFi to make signatures, and IMM was the onboarding solution when it comes to regulatory onboarding to be compliant with MiCA laws in Europe and other laws in the world.
All right. There's a lot to unpack there, but I love how you got all those pieces of the puzzle together to make it really easy for essentially users and in the end to buy gold. So we got a really good wallet. If you haven't checked out Begin Wallet, I'll put links down below for everyone in the show notes. Check it out. I've got it installed on my phone as well. And just playing around with it, it is a really simple wallet to be able to just get into an ecosystem and play around with DeFi within a couple of clicks. You're immediately providing liquidity onto Liquid Finance, and you don't need to know the technicals about it. You're earning a nice APR. So it's a really good wallet to play with. Then be able to buy gold. I haven't tried that yet myself. And then having the ability to sign the legal documents through the platform as well. It just all makes sense. And a lot of this stuff has been happening over the last year, I think. And Finest, was it last year or the year before now? I can't remember the launch
we
date.
funded 2024, Finest.
Yeah.
And then we started with Granite from India, together with Triwolf Tech and our friends from Newcast. Big up to Sharan, great guy, he is Cardano India for me. And we're working very close together with Begin Wallet and with Finest Tokenized.
So how is Finest going at the moment? What's it look like? You've got the granite, you've got the gold. Are people buying in? Are you getting more users on there? Are you getting more gold liquidity onto the platform as well?
Yes, I can tell you Finest
what's the situation?
A very big step now. And that you get some alpha from me now. For Finest, we have 2 new shareholders, which are both lawyers. One is Professor Orion Rocher from the University of Lyon. He has a company together with his former partner he was also working for Storm Partners, which is a very Cardano Foundation related lawyer agency. And Matthias Trausnick come from this company, and they are now shareholder of Finest because we have to tackle some really difficult regulatory obstacles. And these guys, if you look at the track record from Aurélien, amazing. He was working for Deloitte, so one of the big five, top fives, and always is the digital expert there. And with him, we like to tokenize shares now. We have a catalyst proposal for that. And with our old team setup, it was very difficult because we like to make it compliant. So if we don't make it compliant, the next interview will be like this, so I will be in the prison. So I have to be as I'm the CEO, it has to be compliant. And in Germany, it's very rough. To work with securities is you have to be very careful. You have to be very cooperative with the government and the BaFin, our SEC. And so we are very happy to onboard these two guys. And they're also shareholders already of BlockSign, where we also like to disrupt something and make Cardano the go-to blockchain if you need signatures. Usually you buy a very expensive root certificate to disrupt this root certificate from Adobe with the Cardano blockchain. And therefore, we need someone who addresses this wish to the government in Switzerland and Germany. And this will be Aurélien and his team. So he is essential for us, and people don't see it, but I think he is essential for Cardano, because if every signature will be much cheaper on Cardano, people will change. And we have billions of signatures every day digitally, and we make a transaction like a second layer for security of signatures. So back to Finest. I'm always, have to separate my companies a little bit. Finest is doing this. Yeah, we have new partners. We have also another new shareholder, which is Florian from Liquid. We have Raul and Matteo, the founders and CEOs from Fluid. They are shareholders of Finest. So we have quite a strong team with legal people, with DeFi experts and marketing. And me, I'm a partner manager, and someone has to do the boring work with bookkeeping and stuff like this. So the management work, that's on my side most of all. And so this Finest now, it will be very strong. And we have out in I can't tell too much, but there's a gold mine out in the world. And why not tokenize gold which still is in the earth? And we leave it there. Isn't it the safest spot on Earth to leave gold in the ground, but tokenize that? And that means experts from a legal perspective. But this is the big hunt we're doing now is tokenizing gold, which is still in the earth. It will be ready, I think, in 18 months. So it's a long way. And before we are focused on our catalyst proposal, tokenizing shares together with a very big partner called Chartered Investment. It's internationally renowned and operates worldwide. So yeah, Finest it's really nice to be on this journey, because I think blockchain is made for transferring digital assets. It's made for tokenizing. So I think this is a perfect blockchain use case, and we use Cardano more and more. So with Finest now, we will connect Cardano wallets. It was missing because we had to make some moves around regulatory. And now we know better, or we learned a little bit, and now we can also integrate the normal way, connect your Cardano wallet, but then you have to go through a KYC to buy gold. That's the German government. But MintSwap, we have a pool there, so you can also buy gold on MintSwap without KYC, and the same with Begin Wallet. Just from the source, you need to make a KYC. And when you like to have the physical gold home, then you also have to make a KYC. It's the minimum of KYC has to be done. And I think we did it quite well. Also looking at, we also like to have a clean space. Do we all like to have black money in the space? Think on the way to, for you and me, for sure, it is a pain. We don't like to pay taxes. Everyone is the same. But at least we also don't like to have a Wild West and someone has to take care. So this is where I pay taxes. So yes, we have to make KYCs. We can't. But if you sell or buy over MintSwap on the secondary market, you can be decentralized to the max. And that is for sure always my priority, to get maximum decentralization. But I think the way takes 20 years to be 100% decentralized in all the ways. And then my favorite topic, SSI, will hopefully back and commercialized. Let's see. It's a long way still.
Yeah, I see a lot of governments, like you said, moving away from the SSI environment and going for the full
Yeah. In
centralized
India,
digital
you have
identities.
gov tools. You connect as a platform or on a wallet. You connect to the Indian government identity solution, and then you transfer the identity to what you. So it's SSI with you can choose yourself what you show, which data. So the selective disclosure is in fact it's good. It's just who issues the data, the personal data, who is the one who is the master of your identity, and still not you. It's still the government. So is this bad or not? Let's see how the government develops. If you look at some countries worldwide, how they develop, I would love to have you issue my identity, but not the government anymore. So I think that's the way we have to wait, look, and form the space and build our wish into everything.
Yeah, identity is a big thing that's needed here in Australia with so many corporations being hacked. My identity is everywhere on the internet. It's traded on the black web, dark web. I know it is because I get continuous spam calls. So, whenever that gets solved, that'll be fantastic. I'll need to create a new identity. But, that'll be fantastic. But, back to finance.
Perhaps in the future we have this, we help each other to give or support the identity. So today I speak as Tim Bruckmann, the founder of companies, and with you as Peter. But perhaps, when we play video games or we move to Twitter, we move Instagram, perhaps we like to have not our private personal part. We would like to play with the internet. And yeah, this is where we are now, and we see the problems. Like we have these scams everywhere around. I think how many learned Cardanos are on Twitter. It's probably a lot. And wrong Peters, but look what the internet is becoming, with all this slop, where the AIs learn from the wrong sources, and now everybody has the wrong knowledge. So I think blockchain is still the savior also for AI, because we need something to write on which cannot be changed, where the really truth lies. And this is what every of my projects have in common, that we are a trust provider and we like that people trust us, and we are very transparent. You see all the people we always have in our impressum on the website. In terms, you always see where we're located, and think we are one of the only projects where you always find the address where the company is located. So we're hiding nothing at all. And this is something which is very important to deliver trust, that people use Cardano or use the applications on Cardano. They should not use Cardano. They should use the applications, the tools they need, and by coincidence, the best ones are running on Cardano. I think this is how we should market Cardano more from the use case, from the possibilities we build on Cardano, because we're all sitting in one boat, so everybody building on Cardano has to support the other one and around. So I think we are in a good way. We see the bear market. We see that a lot of people running away, but it will come back as we see that institutions are coming more and more. We have less transactions, but with a much, much bigger amount of value. It's not these black days around. It's just like we have to wait a little bit till and work that institutions and professional investors have the tools to onboard themselves to Cardano. That is missing. Yeah. So they need signature tools, they need wallets for their use case. Yeah, and this is what we all have to build and help.
Now, I just want to go back to one of your earlier points about finance and the regulations that you guys have to go through and comply with, the compliancy side of things. The fact that you guys are a German incorporated company, I know the regulations in Germany are so hard. It kind of gives what you guys are building that extra level of trust, because you're going through the immense amounts of headache to get the compliancy side of things correct so that you can issue shares, which is going to be absolutely amazing. Because if you go through all that red tape to get shares through your platform and on Cardano, I think it's just a no-brainer for anyone else to come in afterwards and use the platform, because you're not guaranteed, but you have a high level of reassurance that the platform is good and everything is secure in the way that you can use the platform. I think that's one of the really big selling points and winning points, like you kind of talked about. for the platform in general.
Yes, the compliance and the trust is the most important. Which investor would buy a gold if he doesn't know what happened? So what happens if Finest is gone? You find the domain is gone, nothing. Then you have the invoice can say, hey, dear, I like to have the physical gold now. So your damage is I don't have digital gold anymore. Now I have the physical gold. So this is what we can inform people about, that compliance in Germany has to be like this. And I can't go to my own supplier and say, hey, give me all the gold. I would like to run away. He said, hey, we have a contract. It's not possible, because he will lose his license as well. So because he's a vault. So the regulations are pain in the ass for sure, but at the other side, it gives us the rules we have to follow. So you have to die one death. Which death you like to die? Is it like being in a country where nothing is really regulated and people don't trust and it's very difficult to establish a product? Or is it better to have very strict rules and we as companies have to follow them day by day and have to improve, and we get letters, hey, you do this wrong, you have to change this. Okay, we do, sorry. This is the reason we need more lawyers in the company. And marketing is not the biggest problem, because we go to institutions and we already have, if we deliver the products we are building now, if they're ready, there are already institutions waiting for it, especially for the gold. What we do there, and it's an international business, so we go not to Australia, but on the other side of the world from us, it's Canada. And yes, this is something I am really keen on if we manage this. This is a heavyweight, but if we lift this, we can be a very, very famous project.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. You got to keep me up to date.
It's a long way,
I
told you. It will be ready 15 to 18 months. That's what we had discussed with the lawyer, because we have to follow the Canadian laws and we have to follow the MiCA laws, bring them together for a project that had never been done worldwide. There is still, the normal business is we need millions spending money. So if you have millions, you can go to a mine and tell them, I like to pre-finance the, to get the gold out of the earth, clean it and make bars of it. This you can finance already. Yeah. So the gold inside the earth is $2,000 today. And if you have it as a bar, it's 4,000 euros. So that's quite a big of margin. But to do this digitally, and you come with blockchain, the regulator said, oh no, this is already complicated. Now they're coming with blockchain, and in Canada and Europe and worldwide should buy. It's a lot of things we have to really check. Technically, it's possible today. We can lift it in a week. We have all from the geographic institutes. Yes, there's the certification. There's this amount of gold in the earth. This is all done, but to put this together in a regulated form with regulated smart contracts, which are regulated not only in MiCA, no, also the Canadian government say yes, go for it. This is a long way. And we're happy that Aurélien, our good professor, is working in Canada and in MiCA countries. So it's a perfect setup by coincidence that we didn't know, because the contact to the mine in Canada was just coming up 2 weeks ago. And he came to us because, hey guys, I saw your tokenized gold. That's interesting. Let's jump on a call. So we have been, we've been out in the world, and we also tokenized wheat. Big up to Raphael Frager from the Cardano Foundation. Rafa made it together with Patrick Topla, that we tokenized wheat for institutional investors, and that could help, to solve a lot of problems of nutrition and stuff, So that was a nice test for the government of Argentina, and also there we will grow with Finest. So focus is there, and the rest are satellites. The other companies are satellites to enable these concepts without relying on anybody else who doesn't like us, perhaps, or who likes to blockade us or whatever. We now have everything in our own hands with the best contacts like Fluid and Liquid. It's, for me, one of the most established, at least, lending and borrowing protocols, and both teams are DeFi degens to the bone. We have the legal, we have a professor on the team. So I think we will lift it with some support from the community, and that people look what we're doing and pushing us and keeping asking. I think it is a good chance. Let's say it like this, I'm very excited,
I think you're going to kick ass here.
I have to calm down a little bit, because very big business. Yeah, let's see if we can realize it. I would love it because it brings more than $1 billion to TVL to Cardano blockchain.
I definitely think you're going to kick ass. You definitely have that perfect team there with the technical all the way to the legal skills and operational, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that the final hurdle here is just getting through that regulation, building that level of trust so that institutional investors can just come in, throw their money onto the platform. Again, they probably wouldn't even know that they're using blockchain. They're just seeing this really good opportunity to be able to digitalize ownership of that pre-mined gold in Canada and then be able to flip it when it's actually pulled out the ground. So,
yes, or you leave it, because if you leave it in the floor, you don't pay a vault. You don't have to pay the chemics to get it out of the ground.
Yes.
So perhaps this is quite interesting if because the guy he's I think a little bit he's a little bit older than me, and he said, guys, this is what you are doing. I'm dreaming since 20 years of. How do you do that? And then he explained blockchain and stuff. He had this idea. His family he's running gold mines since the 18th century. So it's a heavyweight guy, but really down to earth and very, very sympathetic.
Okay. All right. Let's keep in contact so we can get more updates about all this stuff that you're doing. But, if anyone's watching this, you can already use the Finest platform. You can already download Begin Wallet. You can get out there and start using all this on the Cardano ecosystem. And you might as well just check out my videos that I'm doing on Begin Wallet as well, so you can get an idea of how to use it and start playing around with some of its really cool features. But Tim, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast and talking through everything that you're doing at the moment. And I think we need more regular catch-ups.
It would be a pleasure for me, and also the other teammates are keen on getting in touch with you. Perhaps you like to have more regulatory, which is a little bit boring, I know, but it's very interesting for people who are struggling or have these obstacles. Also, we have been in touch with P. From Sunday. He's also very keen on making it very privacy, very decentralized trading. So a brilliant mind for sure. And yeah, we are in touch with all these masterminds to deliver something to Cardano and make our way for the community and with the community.
All right, awesome. We will catch up again soon and I'll talk to the other team members. But like I said, thank you so much for joining me. And we'll speak soon.
Thank you so much, Pete, and all the best.
All the links down below for you guys in the show notes. If you found the video useful and interesting, make sure you hit that thumbs up, that like button, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell, and I'll keep you guys up to date with everything that's happening in the space. If you enjoy my content, check out the Buy Me a Coffee links, the Patreon link down there, and of course, YouTube memberships as well. Multiple different ways you can support the channel. And don't forget, I also have a Cardano stake pool that you can delegate your ADA to, which will also be a midnight node operating. Absolutely appreciate all you guys that have subscribed. Can't do this without you. I'll see you guys in the next video.